edit your podcast right from your computer phone or your computer. The Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it's easy to be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Thank you very much. All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to a special bonus episode of Gotta Have Heart Wrestling by yours truly, Jamal Honus. And we are going to talk about probably one of my favorite No Way Out events of all time. I recently did one about, the history of No Way Out on a full episode this past Wednesday. I had really fun with that. I really love No Way Out pay-per-view, and this is pretty surreal because the No Way Out event that I want to talk about took place in the year 2001, which pretty much is probably one of my favorite years ever part of WWE's history. And Title One, we saw Steve Austin win the Royal Rumble that year. It's pretty surreal. It's pretty crazy. And Kurt Angle, unbelievably, thanks to the same person, Stone Cold Steve Austin, retained this WWF Championship over the game Triple H. Yeah, man, we saw a lot of that event. We saw the tag team champs change hands, the IC title change hands. China re-injured her neck, unfortunately, and that amazing Royal matchup. It has to be one of the best Royal Rumbles of all time. Coming out of that, we saw a lot of different scenarios going to No Way Out on the road to WrestleMania. It's pretty crazy here. And that leads us to No Way Out 2001 pay-per-view event that took place on February 25th, 2001 from Paradise, Nevada, or Las Vegas, at the Thomas Mack Center with an attendance record of 15,223 fans with a buy rate of 590,000. So pretty good buy rate here. About half a billion here, so it's pretty surreal how this man will be. This event will be headlined by Kurt Angle defending his championship against The Rock, who had recently defeated Big Show on the episode of SmackDown to gain the number one contendership to go to No Way Out in Las Vegas to challenge Kurt Angle for the WWE Championship here. First off, on the Sunday Night Heat, we had Rikishi defeating Matt Hardy via disqualification here in 3 minutes 50 seconds. Rikishi, man, this is pretty crazy. I think I love this side of Rikishi being the bad man character, coming out for what happened with the whole scenario, running out Austin, feuding with The Rock, and then, you know, pretty good performance in Warrior match. Not too bad. It could have looked better. His performance in Warrior 2000 was actually a little better. But, coming off, he was a really bad man. Trust me, this is not the only time we will see Rikishi in one night here. All right, we're gonna kick off the event here with a hardcore championship match for the hardcore title between the challenger Big Show and the hardcore champion Raven. This is pretty crazy matchup. We saw the one Billy Gunn getting pinfall, becoming champion. We saw Crash Holly. We saw this Spidey woman who would later be revealed as Luna, trying to help out Raven here. Evidently, that Raven gets defeated here, 1, 2, 3, and Big Show becomes new hardcore champion in 4 minutes and 20 seconds. So this is pretty much a wild out crazy matchup to begin the way out here. I think we saw like what, three title changes in one match here. So yeah, not yet really the ideal one-on-one hardcore matchup, but it was kind of entertaining to kick off the show. I mean, the thing is about the hardcore championship. I'm a big fan of hardcore. Don't get me wrong, but back in when the 98, 99 era started, I'm not really big on the whole 24/7 rule because I felt like there was no procedure in the championship. We had championship changes kind of like how 24/7 change stands right now on the freaking amusement park, airplanes, even with Crash Holly, the Houdini of hardcore, which is a pretty cool nickname. It changed as he was sleeping one time. So this is pretty surreal. This is really, really surreal here for, chance to be defended 24/7. So, yeah, pretty great scenario here. Like I said, Big Show becomes new hardcore champion, and even though Big Show wanted to be in the main event to fight for the WWE Championship, at least he walked out of Las Vegas and won the championship. So can't be all the bad night for Big Show here. And mind you, this is the only time we'll see the Big Show tonight too. Up next, we get a phenomenal Fatal 4-Way matchup for the WWF Intercontinental Champion. The champion Jericho defending against Chris Benoit, Agro, and X-Pac. I know what you're thinking. Pretty high profile matchup here. All four of these big stars here, who all deserve to be in the main event, at some point. But It's pretty crazy here. We actually saw a lot of this matchup here. All guys, these had these finish moves one by one here. Roberto's counters. Even Ego Pesquoa beating Party Radicals working together in this matchup here. X Pac, yeah, just incredible. X Pac's buddy from the X Factor in this matchup as well. Try to gain the upper hand for X Pac, and it's pretty cool here. And Chris Jericho's still holding his own. Chris Jericho will do a modified pin cover crucifix to pin X Pac with a back bridge to retain his Intercontinental Championship in 12 minutes and 17 seconds. So it's actually pretty good entertaining matchup here for the IC title. We saw a lot change hands. Oh, well, no, we saw a lot of reversals counters. I really like the teamwork from Benoit and Guerrero here. Even a couple times matchup did fly each other a little bit, but still was able to remain friends as part of their group Radicals at this matchup here, and it was pretty good. Like I said, I talked about it on the flip side about the year Jericho, and you gotta admit this is pretty cool. I think this is probably one of the best that Jericho we've seen on this long winning streak here, and it will still continue to roll into WrestleMania. So it's not bad. It's not bad at all. All right. We'll see backstage promo of Mr. Man talking to Way Ringo, saying that he'll do the right thing in the Trish Stratus Stephanie McMahon match coming up momentarily. And I really didn't know what the hell Mr. Man meant by the right thing to do, but the only time will tell. But the match is up next. Stephanie McMahon will challenge Trish Stratus one on one here. And well, if you go back to this event on WWE Network, you will see Trish Stratus's outfit, his matchup at one time. I think her right butt cheek was hanging out, and oh man, I if you see Trish Stratus wrestle back in the day in the year 2001, most of her outfits was so little cleavage, little buttocks here and there, and I'm not one to complain. I actually enjoyed it, and I think this will be Stephanie McMahon's third match in her entire career, considering that she won the when she had on the SmackDown for WrestleMania last year. She lost on Chance to Lita thanks to The Rock in August of 2000 after SummerSlam, and now she's feuding with Trish Stratus here. Evidently, Trish Stratus actually held her own, even wedding Trish Stratus. Oh man, I think I'm gonna probably have dreams about this matchup for a long time. But like, yeah, wedding her, and I'm pretty sure Jerry Colon decided to see this match as well, considering he had a match waiting on that night. But we're gonna go. Murphy gets knocked down here. We're gonna come out and we're thinking, okay, Trish is gonna win. You know, Trish Stratus over Stephanie. Referee counts to 1, 2. We're gonna pulls the referee outside the ring and knocks him out, and then lays out Trish Stratus and puts Stephanie on top of Trish Stratus, getting the 1, 2, 3. And Stephanie has a Trish Stratus 1-on-1 in 8 minutes and 29 seconds. I really didn't get the outcome of the matchup, but we're gonna go think it's gonna help out Trish, and then changes his mind, I guess, and helps out Stephanie. Like I don't know. And evidently we go backstage, and I guess Vince McMahon's not happy with the way that you know um thing got handled that, and makes matchup the next night on Raw, saying that it's Heb and Stephanie versus McMahon and Trish Stratus in a mixed tag team matchup, and yeah, I don't know where the point of story was going or how. I mean, I know how it came about, but it was just confusing to see this progress here. But at least we got to see a good cat fight. That was pretty much one of the highlights of the night. Stephanie Trish Stratus matchup. So, yeah. All right, next up we go Triple H versus Stone Cold Steve Austin in a three-stages hell match. Mind you, this is the first time WWE's ever held a three-stages hell match, which is basically a 12-3 fall with no stipulation. The first match being a regular wrestling contest, the second match being a no DQ match, and the third match, if needed, will be contested inside the steel cage. This is pretty surreal. Going back to this whole battle between Austin and Triple H, Austin and run over that match that happened at Survivor Series 2000, and the thing where on the January 8th edition of Monday Night Raw, Triple H coming in and costing Austin the shot that changed against Kurt Angle. We saw Triple H getting a shot cost by Steve Austin at the Royal Rumble this past January. You go to contract signing. Triple H never signed a contract, beats down Austin. The signing contracts after, Triple H not risk getting suspended for 6 months here, and also not risk losing his title shot at WrestleMania. They would have to keep their hands off each other until the No Way Out event. We get to know you out here. Triple H comes up first, Austin comes out second. The first match, the standard wrestling contest, it wasn't a pretty good match. Back and forth here. We will see Steve Austin win with the stunner. Get the 1, 2, 3. We go straight to the no DQ matchup here. We saw Chance sledgehammer. Triple H would knock out Austin with the sledgehammer. Gets the 1, 2, 3 here. And we go straight now to the steel cage matchup with one win tied apiece. We got the barbed wire 2x4. We got steel chair. We got sledgehammers in that ring with the steel cage coming and covering the ring as well. And I gotta admit, this is a pretty badass matchup. The ending of this matchup, though, this is what really made the difference. When Triple H had the sledgehammer, Austin had the barbed wire 2x4. They both knocked each other out. Triple H lands on Austin on a unconscious, being unconscious himself, landing on Austin, getting the 1, 2, 3. Triple H defeating Austin 2-1 in the 3 stages of the hot matchup in 39 minutes and 26 seconds. Brutal contest, but you have to watch the match start to finish. This is really entertaining back and forth. I enjoy a good Austin Triple H matchup because these two could really take to each other, almost as similar to like The Rock and Austin, but a little more slow, methodical, more technical wrestling maneuvers here, and it's just pretty crazy, you know. So a pretty badass matchup, really entertaining matchup tonight. So yeah, it's pretty surreal. It really was. And it kind of stopped Steve Austin's momentum on WrestleMania, but no matter what, after the matchup, Steve Austin still got his touch at WrestleMania, and this will pretty much put the lid on the feud between Austin and Triple H, kind of end their feud here. So yeah, Triple H moving on to other things leading to WrestleMania. So yeah, pretty surreal. But this is probably one of my favorite matches between Austin and Triple H from this event. So I definitely enjoyed this match here. All right, next up, we can see the RTC backstage planning for their fight against Jericho and Lawler. We got Steven Richards coming with Ivory, Jericho and Lawler coming out with the cat, and the situation here is if Jericho and Lawler won, the cat would strip naked, would strip naked on pay per view, and this is a pretty big gamble because if Jericho and Lawler had lost, the cat would have to join the right to censor, and yeah, it's a pretty big gamble, especially being they were in Las Vegas, Nevada. Let me take a pause right here. For those who don't know this, real life behind the scenes, the cat and Nicole were married at this point. Married as husband and wife. So they didn't really talk about that as put onto WWTV just to break down that fourth wall. But I'm telling you this right now, the cat and Nicole were married in real life. So, you know. First off, we got RCC stream, which is coming out here, and Jerry Lawler. And it kind of sucks here. With distraction by the cat illegally, we will get Jericho Lawler knocked out. 1, 2, 3. Steven Richards beat Jericho Lawler in 5 minutes 32 seconds. And per stipulation, the cat has to join the right to censor. Pretty crazy here. Because the aftermath of the matchup, with Cat refusing to go on the storyline, she had quit the WWE. And even Jericho Lawler had quit the WWE alongside with her. Just because he didn't want to see his wife, the cat, joined RTC, which I don't blame them. But it's pretty surreal here. The aftermath of a one match can affect two people's lives here, so it kind of sucks in that scenario. But don't worry, Jason will be back later on throughout the year. So yeah. All right, next up we have a triple threat tag team tables match for the WWF Tag Team Champions. How unbelievable! The only way being Edge Christian in the Rumble, being concussed, and winning tag team championships here. They would get the rematch with the Dudley Boys here in the tag team matchup with ballroom tables, not without involving one more team. That's right, the Brothers of Destructions, Kane and The Undertaker. First time being together, actually, will challenge for the tag team championship. This is pretty surreal. This is first time these two brothers actually team up and they'll say, "Oh, let's go for tag team gold." So, all right, leads to this matchup here. You got the Dudley Brothers, Edge Christian, Kane and The Undertaker coming out here. Pretty good matchup though, back and forth. I actually pretty much enjoyed this matchup here too. So not your typical standard tag team matches here. So we saw these two tables along this matchup here. Even at one point, you have Rikishi and Haku. Yes, Haku. It was also a member of the Anoa'i family coming out here helping out, Rikishi. When he used to be King Haku back in the 80s, pretty surreal scene guy would come out here Rikishi and attack Kenny Undertaker for no one reason. I'm not really sure, but yeah, leading the other boys to put Edge to a table to get the win in 12 minutes and 4 seconds, retaining the tag team championship. So it's pretty cool here, to see that these two teams here would get the three teams would get a unbelievable triple threat matchup here. And even though it sucks, I really want Undertaker King to win tag championships. It sucks they didn't, but it wouldn't be you know their last time for tag champs, the Brothers of Destruction. So thank God here. All right, next up we got the main event. We showed a package between Rock and Kurt Angle. Rock saying the Kurt Angle championship ring is coming to an end, and he guaranteed that he will walk out Las Vegas as the new champion here. All right, we go straight to the matchup here. Rock Angle come out first, Rock come out second. Pretty much badass match back and forth here. It's pretty amazing. This is where Kurt Angle became really tough here, kicking out of the Rock Bottom I think once or twice, and then Rock kicking out of the Angle Slam and getting the ropes ankle lock. Was he the referee knocked down? Oh no, he's not standing up. But Big Show in the previous matchup chosen both the Rock and the Kurt Angle and leaves the ring just like that. I guess he's so upset about not fighting in this matchup himself. The Rock gets back up here. We see more Rock Bottom for Kurt Angle. I think that's three session. Getting the 1, 2, 3, and the Rock becomes the new WWE champion. It's pretty surreal. That Kurt Angle title run from when that No Mercy 2000 when Kurt Angle won championship from the Rock. So it's pretty surreal. Now we got officially a change to our WrestleMania main event. We're gonna get The Rock in Austin Part 2, WrestleMania 17, in the Houston Astrodome in Houston, Texas. How cool is this? I mean, think about it. What if Kurt Angle had won that matchup, and then it would have been him versus Austin that WrestleMania championship? Don't get me wrong, it would have been a good match. But as a fan, I was excited to see finally another Rock Austin match because you know damn well it's gonna be a classic. It's gonna be a main event for the ages. So I was excited to have the Rock win the championship and get that main event. As a fan, I was really, really excited to get this main event matchup here. But man, look at this event though. It's pretty crazy. It really is. Like, I tell one has to be probably one of the most controversial No Way Outs of all time. And it really ain't taking away too. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. Especially this whole road in the year 2001. Could we see, you know, anything happen on Road to WrestleMania? We'll see a lot there. Oh man. But guys, we're no more No Way Out. Maybe a retired people bit, but the one Rumble isn't. We are only 8 days away from the Rumble. It's 1 week from this Sunday, 1 week from tomorrow, January 31st, live from the Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida, at the WWE Thunderdome. Sunday, January 31st, it's going to be pretty crazy. You got Roman Reigns defending the Universal Championship against Kevin Owens in a last minute standing match. You got the WWE Championship Drew McIntyre defending against Goldberg. First time ever. And you got the women's and men's Royal match, respectively, here. What else could we see happen in the Rumble? Maybe some surprises? Who knows? That's right. We got the next Sunday pay-per-view and on every network for $9.99. Thank you guys for joining me on this bonus episode of my podcast about the No Way Out 2001 event. I'll see you soon. We'll talk about it there. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, God Have Heart Wrestling Podcast. You can search up any of my videos. They're slowly but surely uploaded on there. I promise to get every single uploaded on there. So in case you don't have a podcast, go on YouTube, listen, watch, and see. Remember, I go live on YouTube April 28th, Wednesday. It's going to be phenomenal. We're going to try to do something big that day, guys. We're going to have some fun. All right, I'll see you soon. I'm God Have Heart Wrestling by your truly Jamal Honus. See you then.